Have you already watched Avatar: The Way of Water? If so, you're probably wondering when you'll get your next fix of Pandora and the Na'vi. But why you will have to wait a while for the movie, we have so many updates for you, it's going to get your head spinning. So let us offer you the best thing that we can before the Avatar 3 teaser trailer drops and let you in on everything we know about Avatar 3. First up, Avatar 3's unimaginable story expansion teased by writers. Have we got good news for you? Now that Avatar: The Way of Water has finally been released to the world, Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver, the writers, have teased the expansive stories of future Avatar sequels, and that includes Avatar 3, of course. Jaffa and Silver have written the next sequel, which was shot concurrently with The Way of Water and will be followed by Avatar 4 and 5. Since its release in theaters in early December, the Avatar sequel has earned over $600 million worldwide and has been nominated for a number of awards, including the Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture Drama. No doubt everyone is so excited about more movies. Now the two writers have teased future Pandora explorations in Avatar 3, 4, and 5 in an interview with Variety. Jaffa implies that the dynamics between Sam Worthington's Jake and Zoe Saldana's Neytiri, as well as Kate Winslet's Ronald and Cliff Curtis's Tanawari, will be important in the events that follow. Silver says the scope and scale will be enormous, and the stories unpredictable. He explained that there is a deeply relatable set of dynamics, interfamily, interpersonal, and interclan, all played out on these enormously inflated scales of different worlds. The clans will meet, and the worlds we'll discover on Pandora haven't even been imagined. Just like the Tolkien were a revelation for this film, there are many more surprises in store for the future. The story of what happens to the Solis is thrilling, and fans have no idea what's in store for them. Up next, the Avatar franchise is set up for success. Both Avatar films have been lauded for their groundbreaking technical achievements, which were painstakingly perfected and identified as the biggest cause for the sequel's delay. The Way of Water used unprecedented CGI in its underwater performance motion capture to depict Jake and his family's adjustments to the Metkayina reef people's way of life. Jaffa and Silver also mentioned how Cameron has considered every possibility when it comes to Pandora's flora, fauna, and tides. He completely immersed viewers by capturing the Na'vi inhabitants and the world they guard. He has created a vision for the franchise and mapped out what each sequel will look like with the help of his screenwriting team. In doing so, Cameron created a smooth flow in the Avatar series in which the events of each film show us the overall journey. Avatar: The Way of Water concluded with Jake's family forging a new life at sea, away from the rest of the Omatakaya clan. He had also promised to continue fighting the human invaders who threatened Na'vi life on Pandora. As expected, Jaffa and Silver are mum on how it will all play out, but with sharp writing, exceptional production value, and a capable cast, audiences can be sure that there will be plenty to look forward to in the coming years. Plus, they won't have to wait long, as Avatar 3 is set to be released in 2024. Coming up, Avatar 3 has a completely different CGI problem to The Way of Water. Avatar was a technological marvel in 2009 due to its use of motion capture techniques and highly detailed CGI. Cameron's Avatar was also a watershed moment in 3D filmmaking, becoming the world's highest-grossing film. Avatar 2, like the first film, sells its spectacular visuals and showcases the industry's most cutting-edge technology. Despite its enormous popularity, Avatar doesn't offer much beyond its visual appeal. Its sci-fi story revolves around humans invading the Na'vi world of Pandora, but it does not delve deeper into its themes of environmentalism and indigenous peoples' colonization that it had an amazing opportunity to explore. Avatar: The Way of Water abandons the forest for the ocean, but the story remains as shallow as in the first film. The fact that Avatar 3 and The Way of Water were shot concurrently allows for a much shorter gap between films, but without 13 years of technological advancement to propel its public appeal, Avatar 3 must rely on a strategy different from the franchise's first two films and focus on its storytelling instead. Following up, Avatar 3 can no longer rely on impressive CGI. Avatar 3's visual quality will not improve as dramatically as Avatar: The Way of Water did when compared to its first part. The modernized 3D, underwater effects, and high frame rate during action sequences separate Avatar: The Way of Water from Avatar. But with its release scheduled for only 2 years after Avatar 2, Avatar 3 cannot appeal to audiences as a cutting-edge cinematic experience in the same way that its predecessors did. Avatar 3 may include new scenery using advanced visualization techniques similar to the shift to underwater sequences in Avatar: The Way of Water. However, the impact of Avatar 3 will be limited if it does not improve other aspects of the franchise. So if James Cameron hopes to captivate audiences for a third time, he needs to focus on the story and fleshing out the characters. Moving on, Avatar's storytelling issues are worse. The failure of Avatar: The Way of Water to advance its storytelling to complement its visuals makes Avatar 3's task daunting. Aside from introducing new characters, locations, and Na'vi clans to the Avatar universe, Avatar: The Way of Water doesn't accomplish nearly enough narrative in its more than sufficient 3-hour runtime. Not to mention, the addition of family dynamics and a new Na'vi clan does not compensate for the film's limited character arcs and a plot structure that is far too similar to Avatar's. The franchise's ultimate test will probably now be Avatar 3. The film's reception will determine whether visuals alone are sufficient to satisfy audiences when the CGI is no longer groundbreaking enough to make the news. That doesn't mean that Avatar 3 will not be a visual masterpiece akin to Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water. It surely will be, but the next sequel must also explore its characters and world beyond the superficial elements. Avatar: The Way of Water proves Cameron's talent as an innovative director, but the verdict on Avatar 3 will come down to the film's substance, and that's something the director has proved he can do too, so it's time for him to pull all the stops for the third movie. Coming up, why was there so much hype around Avatar: The Way of Water? James Cameron is one of the most talented filmmakers working today, having created films ranging from Titanic to The Terminator. He's best known for his distinct visual style, which works best on the big screen and has been a draw for audiences for decades. The first Avatar had a huge impact on the film industry, thanks in large part to the remarkable technological innovations Cameron made during its production. CGI-heavy films are notorious for deteriorating with age, but this is not the case with Avatar, which remains stunning and immersive to this day. This achievement is all the more impressive given that Avatar's success sparked a surge in 3D films, but few are able to pull it off as well. So it's exciting to see Cameron continue to work on this technology and improve it to such an extent. The cultural impact of Avatar is frequently underestimated. This is most likely due to the script's derivative nature, which, oddly enough, may be a key component of its success. Cameron specializes in dealing with archetypes, and he uses them so confidently and authentically that they still hold great appeal. It's why Avatar has made more money than any other film in history, simply because audiences keep coming back, even for re-releases. Disney has wisely ignored the critical debate, recognizing that people adored Avatar, continue to watch it, and will eagerly await sequels. Next, Avatar: The Way of Water isn't as big as some had hoped. Avatar: The Way of Water picked up where the first film left off, with the Sky People reappearing and Pandora being under threat once more. The stakes are higher this time because the Sky People aren't just after Pandora's unobtainium any longer. Rather, they intend to terraform the entire moon. Surprisingly, Avatar: The Way of Water skips over the Na'vi insurgency against Pandora's occupiers and instead focuses on a personal vendetta that drives Jake Sully and his family to seek refuge with the Metkayina tribe. Cameron's writing is astute because it allows him to use familiar story beats in a new context, themes of exploration and wonder, as Jake and his Omaticaya family learn to thrive in a completely different Pandoran environment. But it's a much more personal story than anyone anticipated. The shift in scale is most noticeable in the third act, when fans get to see a minor skirmish between one tribe and a small group of Sky People, rather than a decisive one. This event is only significant because it jolts Jake Sully back into action, convincing him that the Sky People must be defeated. It's the call to adventure, not the adventure itself, and that's not what many viewers expected from a film they'd been waiting to see for more than a decade. Following up, Avatar 3 may be the massive movie people want. James Cameron is aware of what people are anticipating. The decision to tell a more intimate story is understandable, and in fact, probably wise for the franchise. But he is well aware that audiences are anticipating a much more spectacular conflict, which will inevitably be told in Avatar 3, with Jake Sully once again leading the Na'vi against the Sky People. The humans have arrived in force this time, and they have no plans to leave. Because Earth is dying, they want to claim Pandora as their new home. They've dubbed their new base of operations Bridgehead City, implying that it's a fortified position inside enemy territory from which they can advance or attack. Finally, how can Avatar 4 and 5 be even bigger? They're probably starting a terraforming project because the humans will undoubtedly want to change Pandora's atmosphere to make life easier for them. The Na'vi will soon be fighting for their lives, providing Cameron with ample opportunity to demonstrate more of his technological innovations. Cameron is a clever writer, and he's effectively relaunched the franchise with Avatar: The Way of Water, deliberately reducing the scale so he can build it back up over the course of the franchise. Cameron, as producer John Landau recently stated, wants each Avatar film to raise the bar in every way, including scale. Avatar: The Way of Water will inevitably be surpassed by Avatar 3, which will be surpassed by 4 and 5, or so they hope. There have even been persistent rumors that the franchise will eventually leave Pandora and return to Earth, which will flip the narrative. Nonetheless, audiences would be wise to take away an important lesson from Avatar: The Way of Water. Cameron will continue to focus on the characters, or perhaps archetypes, at the heart of his story. Loak, for example, has formed a bond with a rogue Tolkien, beginning an arc that promises to transform him into one-of-a-kind figure on Pandora, a role he will play out of compassion, not warrior instincts. Kiri is a messianic figure, perhaps hinting at an arc in which the Na'vi triumph through building bridges rather than fighting. No matter, the conflict in Avatar 3 will be important and spectacular to be sure, But Avatar, The Way of Water hints it may well not be the emotional core that many may be hoping for. And that's a wrap for this video. Are you excited about the release of the third Avatar sequel? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.